have the ability to do it now. You don't have to wait for anybody's guidance. You don't have to wait to be in an office space and have access to supercomputers. The supercomputers are your laptops that you guys already have in your dorms. The technology is free. LinkedIn is free for all intents and purposes. At some point they get you and you want to try and pay a little bit more money. Twitter is free. Facebook is free. WordPress is free. Start doing it now. So this is a snapshot. Timmy alluded to earlier. A couple of years back, I unfortunately was laid off. I'd been a vice president of sales for an ad network and had really enjoyed my career. I was doing very well, but I was bored with it. I was like, man, this social media thing is really, really where it's at. I'd been to the Web 2.0 conference, and I saw this guy, Gary Vaynerchuk, speak. If you don't know who he is, write it down. I saw some of you guys writing some stuff down. Gary Vaynerchuk. He owns a wine store out in New Jersey, and a couple of years into owning the wine store and running the wine store was very successful. He'd grown it from $4 million a year to $50 million a year. He turned 30 and he was miserable. He's like, I don't want to do the wine store anymore. So he started vlogging about wine. But he would talk to guys like myself, utter wine neophytes. Instead of saying, I don't even know the words that you would use to describe wine that would make it sound really highfalutin and important, because, like I said, I'm a wine neophyte. But he would do things like he would taste the wine and say, this reminds me of Bubblicious in like 1985, after I'd had the Bubblicious in my mouth for like 30 minutes when it's dried out and it's not, but you still get a little bit of a taste and a little raspberry in the back of your mouth. And I was like, oh, I get it. I'm buying that wine. He created his own audience, so now he gets about 100,000 people per vlog that he does. So what happens when you start doing that? You start vlogging like that, and you start generating your own audience. Money goes where the eyeballs are. So all of a sudden, corporate America started to pay attention to this guy, Gary Vaynerchuk, who was doing these videos out of his wine store in New Jersey. He's now managed by CAA, which is a management company that manages Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, people like that, and they manage Gary Vaynerchuk. He just signed a 10-book deal with a publisher. He did his first book called Crush It. His second book is called The Thank You Economy, because this guy just talks about doing business from his gut. So I went to him. I saw him speak, and I said, listen, I want to get into social media. And he said, well, that's cool, but you're a vice president of sales, and I'm starting this media company, and I can't afford you. I'm hiring 22-year-old kids that are just graduated from college that are programmers. You don't program. You're a sales and marketing guy. So he said, I want you to do social media. So I saw a story about a girl that had started a site called Twitter Should Hire Me, and I started Facebook Should Hire Me, because I thought it'd be pretty cool to work with Facebook. I said, if I'm going to do social media, I want to do it right. I want to work with the heavy hitters. I want to work with Facebook. Now, you'll notice, update. Facebook didn't hire me. I'm fine, I'm over it, whatever, their loss. However, by doing something creative and something out of the box in regard to my job search, I got more attention than I ever could have paid for. I had journalists from Baltimore who had been searching stuff about Loyola and had found me and were doing articles on creative job searches. Fortune magazine picked it up and had published the content for Twitter Should Hire Me and Facebook Should Hire Me. So when I went on interviews, you're damn well right that I showed up with the Fortune magazine in my hand. And when people said, you have no social media experience whatsoever, I said, bullshit. Look, I get it. I understand what I should be doing. I understand how this whole thing works, and I walked in with it. Be creative. Think a little bit outside the box. If you find a company that you love, go spend 19 bucks on GoDaddy, and that company should hire me. And that's your blog. And start blogging about it. And then send that link to the CEO of the company. My guess is you might get an interview.